Ashley Markum, thank you for joining me today. You have been an inspiration to many parents. Many of us in the Missouri medical cannabis industry know and love you and your family, and thank you for sharing your story today about Ayden. So he was diagnosed, he's 7 years old now, and it seems that he was born 2 pounds and 10 ounces, is that right? Premature. He was in the NICU for 98 days, and then after a year, he started to have seizures, I understand, and it seemed like it was about 100 seizures a day. So he was diagnosed with intractable epilepsy and later with cerebral palsy. Sounds like you went through all of the conventional medications, and there were some severe side effects, and it ended up leading you to the path of trying something else and trying the cannabis for him. Maybe can you just tell us a little bit about some of those side effects that he experienced with those medications?
Sure. There's a mosquito trying to.
It knows you're sweet.
Yeah, so when Ayden was diagnosed, we started right away with, pharmaceuticals, and they told us if we didn't get the seizures under control, he would never develop. Very much led us to believe that this was our only option, which I know now doctors aren't taught about the ECS or CBD or cannabis or anything. So they really did truly think that this was the only option. So we started down that road. And within 6 to 8 months, he had exhausted all of those pharmaceutical options. So usually you try one medication for a little while, see if it's working, then decide to stop it or start a new one. But they continually added on, and he was on sometimes 4 or 5 at a time, just to stop the seizures. And they never helped the seizures. I think I remember with one of them, we got maybe one day where he didn't have any seizures. And then they just went right back to that 100 or more a day. And
wow.
The bad part about the pharmaceuticals is that they all had side effects. And so one of them caused a liver injury, and he had to have a liver biopsy to make sure that was going to rebound and he wasn't going to have a transplant.
Wow.
Another one of them affected his swallowing. Basically, these muscles forgot how to work. And so we ended up with a feeding tube. And that was after exhausting a bunch of feeding therapy options, all because of that one medication. So ended up with a feeding tube, and that's how he numbers later.
Okay. Wow. So then it sounds like you guys ended up having to go to Colorado for CBD oil. Yeah. And you found that his seizures went from 100 a day to just a handful with using the CBD.
Yes.
Maybe you can talk.
Yeah. So back when we started this journey, there were not any CBD companies that were allowed to ship outside of whatever state they were made in. So we actually made that trek to Colorado after getting Ayden's hemp card, which just allowed us to possess and use CBD for his intractable epilepsy. So we made that journey to Colorado to get that, and within
this better not keep happening. But okay, so yes, so I guess it was neat to see that he is the 5th card holder for so that program. Yeah, so back in 2015 we had 2 facilities that were licensed to be able to grow cannabis, but being hemp, right? And they were the only people that were able to grow cannabis in the state of Missouri until 2018 when medical passed. And so Ayden was the 5th hemp card holder. And so you went to Colorado to get the CBD oil since it couldn't be mailed across state lines. And then at some point you were also getting oil from those providers in Missouri.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, once they were online and we, had product from them, we were able to purchase that. And just seeing how well he did on that CBD alone made us further our education in, cannabis as a treatment option, not just CBD, but looking into the THC for his cerebral palsy and his muscle spasms and sleep and, just all of the other things that go along with his medical issues.
Okay, yep. And so this ended up leading your husband, Chris Markum. He's a registered nurse. You guys learned a lot through this experience, and so now he is helping to educate others about this. You guys are a part of the old Route 66 Wellness Dispensary, which is coming along nicely, it seems. I enjoyed seeing a recording recently where you guys were doing some education with prospective dispensary workers. And it was neat to see Chris up there giving some education about the endocannabinoid system and cannabis and things like that. So he'll be continuing to do education then through that old Route 66 Wellness Dispensary.
Yeah, so we're going to have classes for patients and, continuing education for industry employees, not just ours. Just giving that education to the people that are going to be helping others, but that are going to be helping themselves or their children or their parents. We're very passionate about getting the right information out there because in the beginning we didn't know very much, and we did make some mistakes on getting oil that wasn't the best quality or giving him not appropriate doses for his size or conditions that we were trying to help. So
yeah, maybe do you mind talking about the dosing of CBD for Ayden?
Sure. Can you still hear me? Because I think somebody's mowing now.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. If it gets too loud, I can move. But
no problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So important thing with any cannabis treatment, unless it's cancer, that's kind of the exception to everything. But you just want to start low and increase your dosage slowly. So Ayden is his, baseline for his CBD is that, about 5 or 6 milligrams per pound per day is what he gets. And then the THC is just depending on how many seizures he's had that day or, what else is going on. He actually has a nasal THC rescue spray that we give him now whenever he does have a seizure. So it just goes in the nose like a Flonase or something like that, and 1 or 2 squirts, and it stops the seizure like that.
Amazing.
And then he's able to recover quicker and not have all day of recovering from that seizure.
Gotcha. Wow. Isn't that amazing? I really hope, my goal is that, your story gets spread further and further, because like I said, we know of you guys in this industry, but, more people, more parents need to know Ayden's story and how the cannabis has benefited so much. So you guys then started Ayden's Alliance, and I think that it's such a wonderful thing that you're doing. For one, the fundraiser in Kansas City a while back, the superhero fundraiser, was a lot of fun. It was neat to see so many people come out and dress up and have a good time to raise money for Ayden's Alliance. And you're a nonprofit that is helping people, families with special needs, as well as low-income people and veterans to get their patient certifications. And go ahead and talk more about that.
Okay. So, yeah, so after we got medical cannabis on the ballot and, you know, got it passed, I thought that my job was over. And I actually told several people, okay, I'm done, I'm out, you guys take it from here.
Yeah.
But then that's really when the phone calls started coming in. Okay, how do I get a card? You know, when are dispensaries going to be open? How do I get medicine now? All of this kind of stuff. So we really felt like there was a need for that education. So we decided to start Ayden's Alliance to help financially and just with that cannabis education and just to build a community of people that are helpful to each other. And so we have helped just this year about 225 people. We've covered their doctor's fees to get their cards, help them set up home cultivation, help them with genetic consults from Josh Loftus, Home Grow Solutions, you know, just give them education, those classes on, you know, how to grow your medicine, but how to then take that and make it into medicine, or, you know, maybe be a caregiver for somebody else. So we just really didn't want anybody to fall through the cracks and miss out on how they could be helping.
It's so neat. I was so impressed with you guys, you know, at one of the patient certification events, and just seeing you whip out the card to help a veteran to pay for, you know, his fee to the state, and, you know, another low income, you know, gentleman. I mean, it almost gives me the chills. And, you know, I'm just, you guys are so great. And I'm so glad that, you know, all of you, there's so many great people down in Springfield, Missouri. And I love that, you know, Josh Loftus is a part of.
Yes, and we have a great support system. You know, Josh, he helps all of our patients. All I have to do is call him and say, hey, you know, have another one. But, you know, my mom is on the team. She's our vice president of Ayden's Alliance. She actually sent me a text right before 10 o'clock. Check the email, there's a new Zoom code. So it's really, it's helpful to have that. You know, my sister helps, you know, the marketing and the creative side. That's her gift. So she's helped with a lot of our t-shirt designs, or any new project that we're doing. And then the rest of our board is special needs moms or therapists. So they know, you know, they know what it's like to be around people that just need some help.
Yeah. And so the website is www.aydensalliance.org. Ayden is spelled Ayden, alliance.org.
I had to spell it different. I'm kicking myself for doing that now because everybody gets it wrong.
Yeah. I've had to double check myself in the past on that one. And it's neat to see the other stories from children or parents of children on your website as well, to see how there's a number of children that have benefited from this. And of course, there's the research out there too, you know, using the pharmaceutical Epidiolex, showing that there was, you know, better quality of life, better alertness, better language, behavior was improved, as well as motor skills. And we've talked about it. So Ayden didn't use any of the Epidiolex. You were saying that there has been some harsh side effects with some patients using that.
Right. And it is an ethanol extraction, I believe. And so we were just a little concerned about the residual ethanol that could be in there, but also a couple of, I think there was just a couple of artificial sweeteners and things like that. And for special needs kids, those things can really not, you know, mix well with what they got going on, so it could cause more seizures or just, you know, digestive issues or things like that. And then by the time that came out, and was available, he was doing so well on other oils that I just didn't want to change anything. It wasn't worth the risk to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, so, okay, that takes us to just mentioning the entourage effect, which is that there's over 100 cannabinoids in the plant, and not just one is, you know, doing the trick. That there's a synergy between the different cannabinoids that people find greater benefits when all of those cannabinoids are together. So, but it allows the companies to be able to trademark their product when they're isolating one
Yeah.
component of a plant. So okay, well, so full spectrum CBD oil is what you guys are using and have found great benefit using full spectrum
Yeah. So
instead
there's
of isolated.
there's a couple of different brands that we use, obviously, for his daily CBD. And then now that, you know, he has a card, I have his caregiver card, I'm able to cultivate for him. We're able to make his medicine. So we're able to try several, you know, new strains a month or every other month. And so that has been really helpful as well.
I bet that'll be interesting to see, you know, any, I don't know, have you noticed anything yet with trying the different strains?
Yeah, so much like adults in your cannabis medicine regimen, it's good to switch it up. So sticking with one strain all the time doesn't, it'll help for a little bit, but then you need something else to kind of switch it up. Your body kind of gets used to it. So that's the exact same with children. So Ayden really does well with at least 3 different strains a day.
Okay.
So yeah, so we just keep those in the mix and in rotation, and really just let him show us how he's feeling for the day and what he might need, because there are some days where he doesn't get any cannabis medicine when we really feel like his body needs a reset. If he's had several seizures and the rescue isn't really helping ward off anymore or anything like that, then, you know, we take a couple days off, and we're very pro, you know, every once in a while you need a 48-hour break. Unless it's cancer, that's completely different. But yeah.
I hear you. And so nowadays, how often would you say that he might have a seizure nowadays?
So he can go a week without having any, or he can have, you know, one every day for a few days in a row. It just really depends on what's going on. The weather, the moon phases, all of that kind of really does affect it. So.
Isn't that interesting? But what an extreme difference from 100 a day to just maybe one a day or every few days. So good deal. So I want to encourage the dispensaries to choose to adopt this method of purchasing through cultivators, and you know, encourage patients to download an app that is the Ayden Pay app. This will help to give a small percentage to allow Ayden's Alliance to continue to do this great work of helping low income and special needs people to be able to obtain their medicine and be legal patients in the state. Do you want to speak a minute on the Ayden Pay to help people understand that?
So what Ayden Pay will be is it'll be an app that you can download on processing system. So just like Square or Google Pay or whatever else is out there, you'll be able to download that on your phone, and you'll be able to take that into the dispensary and purchase your medicine with that app. And those purchases, a percentage will go to Ayden's Alliance, but it will also give you an option to round up. So if you want to give $5 to Ayden's Alliance with that transaction, that will allow you to do that as well.
Fantastic. Yeah. And then let's see, so the future of Ayden's Alliance, maybe tell us a little bit. I know that you have some events coming up of the continuing education that your husband Chris is and you are going to be doing. Maybe just give us a little sneak peek about, you know, what's happening with Route 66 Wellness Dispensary and what the future is for Ayden's Alliance.
Sure. So COVID has really kind of put a damper on things this year as far as in-person classes, because last year we had classes twice a month that were just patient education. We would do a different topic every class. So we haven't been able to do those in-person classes. So we're still trying to figure out how to do some. We're planning that for October, but we're planning it in a way that everybody can be involved and still dress up and have fun and that sort of thing. So still trying to figure out how to work those types of things virtually. We have launched 3 Ayden's Alliance chapters so that we can just stay a little bit more organized and help more people. So Zayden's Coalition is the Dragonfly, and they will be helping terminally ill patients. We hope to establish programs similar to other legal states that are called like penny programs, or, you know, where you can purchase $100 item for $20 or something like that, by working with cultivators and manufacturers. Then Amelia's Aid is the Butterfly, and they're going to focus on educational resources, support groups, and some alternative therapies. And then Raylan's Renegade is the Bumblebee, and they will be putting patients and caregivers together. So whether it's, you know, for cultivation or just for going into the dispensary to purchase, that's what that chapter will be mainly doing. So we're all working together. It's all under the Ayden's Alliance umbrella, but so that we can help more patients. And all of the bugs, the insects are so cute. We just thought that that was a good idea to
That's adorable. That.
Yeah.
That is so neat. Wow.
And then we'll be doing classes. Ayden's Alliance will be having classes at Old Route 66 Wellness as well. We have 2 locations, one in Springfield and one in Ozark, both with large classrooms available to us to do home cultivation classes or cooking classes or whatever we might want to do. So just trying to figure out how to do all of that with the social distancing and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, Chris, he is very passionate about education, and so he puts together most of our curriculum. And Green Spring Education is a new education company founded by Holly Smith, and she has helped put educational classes together for us as well. So yeah.
Oh, good job. Good job. Yeah. So yeah, I did love seeing on that last video from the old Route 6 Wellness that you guys did, talking about, you know, providing the low cost product to patients. Maybe, I know that you just spoke about that a bit, but maybe help me understand it a bit better. How is that going to work? How do people, you know, are they able to partake in something like that if they need to?
So for actually helping people get their medicine, it'll be a similar application process like what we do for the doctor's visits and home cultivation help. As far as working with the dispensaries, we will work with them to give our patients a certain percentage off, discount, or something like that. I'm sure each dispensary will want to do their own thing. But as far as like the penny programs and things like that, we will have to work with, you know, cultivation, extraction, and dispensary on that to get them all on board to do that for us. So
okay, good deal.
A lot of work ahead, but I'm hopeful that a lot of license holders will want to give back and help us. So
Yes, yes. You've put out so much and helped so many people that, yes, there's many of us, many patients that want to help to continue to keep your nonprofit thriving and helping others. So you guys are doing awesome work, and thank you so much. It's just so neat to see people in the industry helping patients and helping each other, and we need not worry.
Yeah,
What's
that's
that?
what I really love. That's what I really love about our dispensary team is, Chris and I came in when most of them had already decided to do this, and several of them we had known from church actually, and just everybody gets along well, and I know that they're in it for the right reasons, and I hope that most of the other owners, the dispensary owners and manufacturing and testing facilities, I'm hopeful that we'll have lots of other good people out there too.
Yeah, providing affordable product to people. Yeah, and also helping to continue education for patients. So, well, I look forward to seeing, what unfolds for Ayden's Alliance in the future. And it's so neat to hear about these different chapters around Missouri that are helping, different aspects of the needs of patients. So thank you so much for all that you're doing.
You are welcome. Thank you for coming.
Good.